Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Bunker, World War II era horror movie about a bunker and people going crazy. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys, books 1 through 9, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle, unlimited is free. Yeah, I could see this. I guess this says 2023, so I assume it's coming out next year. See if there's more to this. No. But basically, it's World War One and trench warfare, and these guys go into a bunker that's been sealed from the outside, and they get trapped in there because there's mustard gas or something, and then they have to stay down there for various reasons. So it's about them surviving underground and I think slowly going insane, or there may be some supernatural cause. I'm not sure. Doesn't really reveal that in the trailer, but it is very kind of creepy and gross. There's lots of crazy things that go on. They keep putting on the gas mask. There's a lot of heavy breathing. Guys having hallucinations. Injured guys. It's that guy. Wait a minute. Okay. All right, let's see who's in this. Written by Michael Huntsman, directed by Adrian Langley. The cast includes Eddie Ramos, Luke Baines, Julian Feeder, Patrick Multane, and Sean Cullen. No, don't recognize any of those guys. But it looks very creepy. I mean, part of that, I guess, is the aesthetic of World War One. It's kind of a cool aesthetic, and I think it's an English movie. And this is very much like a trapped in the elevator concept, except they're trapped in a bunker, and maybe they're slowly going mad, or maybe it's the weapon that drives them all crazy, or maybe there's some supernatural force or a combination thereof. But it's a solid premise, very claustrophobic. If you don't like that, see the gas mask. My only question would be like, who's going to relate to this? But there is video games, and there have been an awful lot of World War One video games, at least enough that people kind of recognize the era. Battlefield, and I think there's been at least one other. Probably a few more that I'm not thinking of. And there's been a few TV shows and movies. 1917 was a fairly big movie, but it's not normally something that's going to attract like a younger audience, but because it kind of has like a horror bent to it, I think it kind of almost doesn't matter as long as something creepy and weird happens. And this appears to be sufficiently creepy and weird. Although I don't have the details here, it's very much atmosphere. The first act, there's the war. It's terrible. Horrible things are happening. They discover the bunker. They go inside. They end up getting trapped probably because of the mustard gas. So they seal themselves in. Act 2. At first, they're glad to be safe. They're cleaning the place up. They're exploring. They're finding strange signs from probably the previous inhabitants who have maybe killed themselves. Maybe they were Germans and they all killed themselves or killed each other or whatever. Maybe there's a supernatural force, some kind of curse or something. Something's wrong with this bunker. And slowly it starts to dawn on them. And at the same time, their tension, the tension starts to go up, until like they're at each other's throats. At first, they're pseudo reasonable conflicts, but they quickly escalate during the course of the second act to someone's either being driven insane, or being influenced by supernatural forces, or maybe their brain is rotting due to some sort of experimental chemical agent that was sprayed onto the troops, and now They're at each other's throats. Third act. Third act, I'm going to say at that point, a few people have died. If it's insanity, then the main character who's gone insane is now hunting the rest of the characters. And they are attempting to outwit him to survive. Or, if it's supernatural, it's about the escape from the bunker to somewhere else, whether that's via digging or through the door or whatever. Kind of hard to tell in this. Doesn't really telegraph it too much. But again, I like the atmosphere of it, and the characters seem solid, the acting seems solid. It's very claustrophobic, so if you don't like that, you probably won't like this movie. But yeah, I would say it. This feels like an on-demand movie, low budget, but nothing wrong with that. Seems well made. It's even got the music from that time period. This is going to be early 2023, probably January, February release. It tends to be where movies go to die, but if it's a low-budget movie, kind of it's different. That may be a conscious choice on the movie makers, like, well, we can't compete in the regular market. We're gonna hope to release it in January or February. Hope it's like a sleeper hit, and takes us into the spring because it's so popular and there's nothing else against it. So it can kind of go either way. It doesn't feel like a Hollywood movie they're dumping in January and February because it's no good and they don't know what else to do with it. Feels like it's just a small movie with no big names, so they're gonna try to parlay it into a mild hit by releasing it early in 2023, hoping that without much competition it rises to the top and they could say the number one movie, Bunker. And they got a real good shot at that, considering the lackluster box office of late, right? I mean, what are you up against? Now, this would be in direct competition with a movie like Smile, but that'll be out of the theaters by next year, as will everything pretty much on the list, except maybe Top Gun. So you got a shot at it, even now with just the general lack of people not going to the movies. You might pick up a few thousand people who are just bored in early February, going, I'm going to go see a movie. Yeah, this looks fine. Because there's nothing else against it, right? Nobody likes to drop a movie. Nobody likes to drop a good movie January, February. It's just a dead time. People aren't going to see movies. And this feels like a winter movie, right? It's after Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie. It's a horror movie, so it feels like a wintry type movie. The only other kind of movie you want to release during that time is sort of the polar opposite, like a super positive one takes place on a beach or something. Then maybe. But I like to see dark movies in January and February. It's like kind of that time of year. It's not like October when you do want to see horror, but you want to see like either explosive horror or comedy horror. Whereas this is more like subtle, it's slow build. And that time of year I feel is it's the time of year where everything's just grinded to a halt. People are still trying to get back in the swing of things for the holidays. Everybody's just working, so they're just trying to get through 2 months until the weather breaks. So this would be the kind of movie, let's go to the movies. This is kind of depressing. It's depressing right now because it's February and it sucks. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. I am at, right now, the Scary Stories Fest in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And I'll be there from 12 to 6, at least, in the basement of a bar. Go to my website, the link's below, on my book tour, to find out where, if you'd like to come by and get a copy of the Pineys. Maybe get yourself a pint and a Pineys. There you go. And then tomorrow, we'll be doing the live stream at 2 normal time. So psyched for that. We'll see you then, and we'll see you in the next one.